Greetings, it's April 21st, 2020. John Watson, your Hampton's real estate broker. From my kitchen table to your kitchen table. Well, the governor extended our Pause Act until May 15th, citing that the cases are slowly coming down. The good news is that the trend line is going down, both in the state as well as out here in Suffolk County. It's definitely working. The Pause Act has worked by keeping us home, keeping us safe. It's definitely necessary. As I reported last time, the news is doing what the news does, and they're reporting all kinds of negative things. Big economic impact, high unemployment, housing down, all that. And that's expected because, well, we're all home, we're not working. The unemployment numbers coming out, the projections from the major banking institutions. Goldman Sachs has the highest one at 15%. Wells Fargo is at 7%, and everyone else seems to be in between. And that's only for 2020. It's expected to recover in the third and the fourth quarter, and those unemployment numbers will go down. I did notice that the people applying for benefits this week were far less than the prior week. So that is good, and as well as going forward in the next couple of years. And what does that all mean for us here? Well, that means that our economy will pick up once we're all released and can start moving about the country. One short-term quirk that's going on, an unintended consequence of the CARES Act, is the mortgage relief. And some lenders have been afraid to do loans simply because then you could stop making a payment under these emergency powers here in the state as well as federally. The jumbo mortgage paper buyers in the secondary market are out of the market. The non-QM loan buyers are out of the market. There's some conventional lending going on, but it's coming from the federal government, is guaranteeing the paper to the banks. But most of the lending now is going to come directly from a deposit institution, big bank, anyone pick it, Citi, Chase, Wells Fargo, etc. Portfolio loans would be it. So to get mortgages right now, they've increased the requirements on the low end, the conforming rates. So if you're getting a mortgage, you're in process, I'd pick up the phone when this video is done and call up your lender and find out if they're actually going to fund your loan at this point. But I expect that once the economy starts moving, this little glitch in the banking industry is going to change and the money will start flowing again. So what does this all mean? Well, they're talking about a V-shaped recovery. It's going to be short-term, meaning less than 2 years. Everyone will be rehired and we're back on our feet again. It really doesn't make sense that you can restart America by throwing a light switch. So I expect it to take a little bit of time. And this is totally unlike the prior recession, 2008, which was caused by a housing crisis and loose lending. This was caused by a pandemic, a virus. The economy was moving along quite nicely. So here on the East End, looking at from east to the Shinnecock Canal out here, I didn't look at closings because closings, essentially anything that closes now is a transaction that occurred prior to us being sequestered in March. So I looked at the market for the activity from March 15th to present. So here, essentially east of the Shinnecock Canal, when pause took effect, we have 54 pending transactions from $5.25 million to $12,900,000, of which 6 are over $5 million, 6 are between $3 and $5 million, 11 are between $2 and $3 million, and 23 are between $1 and $2 million, and 8 under $1 million. During that time, there were 274 listings that were either withdrawn or expired from selling, and 81 new listings were added to inventory. Looking at April 1st, April 20th, which is definitely right in the meat of the COVID when we were all locked down, there were 28 pendings. 3 of them are $5 million and up, 2 of them are $3 to $4 million, 7 $2 to $3 million, 14 $1 to $2 million, and 2 under $1 million. So it appears that most of the market is between $1 and $3 million. So I would expect prior to COVID hitting 2019, sales were accelerating in 2019 and in the first quarter, and then COVID hitting in March. So I expect it to return. It may not return, rapidly. It's not going to be a rush, but I do expect definitely pent-up demand. Pent-up demand because in the Hamptons, our spring market was turned off. This is our busiest season, as well as we have folks who have relocated here, and they're going to stay here. I think the pandemic is going to cause some lifestyle changes, and people are going to pick new places to live. And I did read that the big cities, actually have a tremendous out-migration that started a couple of years ago. So this may take effect out here. It's still a seller's market, a buyer's market out here, but most of the country is a seller's market with some absorption, 2-3 quarters, perhaps into the first quarter of 2021, it would probably swing into a seller's market. We were definitely moving along, and if we kept up on the pace of the fourth quarter of 2019, the first quarter of 2020, I would expect that we would have moved into a seller's market sooner. But for the moment, it's a buyer's market. 20 to 30% came off the list prices in 2019. I looked at current discounts, and discounts have shrunk. They're generally under 10%, which means that properties are properly priced. Interest rates are still low. It's still a great place to be. So I do expect that our market will recover once America gets turned back on. My goal here, John Watson, with 35 years of direct real estate experience, has always been to be one of an advisor, not a salesman. I have a lot of experience in a lot of real estate related areas, and I look to inform you the best I can and know how to help you make a decision or not, whether that decision is to move forward, not move forward, do something now, do something later. That's not really as relevant to me as it is being more the role of an educator. That's always been my position. John Watson, you can reach me at john@hamptonsrealestatebroker.com or call or text at 516-551-6404. I would love to talk to you, text with you, email. You want to set up a video chat, more than happy to sit and discuss the market or anything else. I'm out in the Hamptons here all the time. Have a terrific rest of the week.